What's up? It's the same day as the power steering pump rebuild, whenever that video got posted. Time for some U-joints. These were installed June of 2004. So 16 years, about 100, let's see, 100, try to do the math in my head, which is kind of difficult. I think the car had around 95,000 on it back then. It's got just under 268 on it now. 170,000 miles. That'll work. That's the kind of mileage I like to see out of components. We don't, those days are long gone for most cars, but so this old classic is showing us how bad modern cars really are. So we got a whole bunch of clips, all different colors. Just the different colors of different thicknesses from the looks of things. Let's get started. Alrighty. So back in 2004, I had a shop do this drive shaft. They balanced it when they put the U-joints in, as you can see, with the the weight. So I'm just gonna make a mark, a strange mark, but a mark nonetheless. Okay, do the same thing up front. Okay, marks are in place. Time to commence. Oh boy. I was a little bit stronger back when I put these on. Okay, so it's late in the day. Probably not going to be my usual jovial self today because I'm tired. I've already been battling with this car all day today. Okay, here she comes. Out she comes. Alrighty. Nothing came out, which is nice. I just realized I did not mark the relationship between this and the drive shaft. I'm going to keep everything the way it was because I don't know how they balanced it. I would have assumed they balanced everything the way it sits right now. So I'm going to flip it so I don't rub that mark off right away. This is how it's like working down south, no rust. Twang. Start tapping. Tap, tap. So this isn't typical of what you find in New England. That's it. That was so friggin' easy. That never happens around here. See that? That would have easily been a 45-minute job had we driven this in the salt. This joint's actually still good. I'm only changing them because of the front. See, all the bearings are still there. Plenty of grease all the way around. Amsoil waterproof grease. Not bad, not bad. So I'm going to use this. I don't know if you can see the name on that. It's Wright. Wright Tools used to be in Worcester, Mass. Back in the day. This is the first tool I bought in my life. I had been using my dad's stuff for years. And I needed something to get a clutch hub apart on a motorcycle. So I went down to the factory over there on Shrewsbury Street. It's now a McDonald's. But I bought this for like 12 bucks. That was a lot of money back then. A lot of money, but I still got it. It was 30 years ago, probably next week or so. Sometime around the summer of 1990. So there it is. little Smithsonite history for you. Ah, crap. Okay, let's do this. We'll balance this here. I'm gonna have to do some cleaning. We'll get grease everywhere. I'm really enjoying this. Everything's so easy. I better shut up because that's when things go sideways. Are you freaking kidding me? I'm holding it in my hand. I don't even need that thing. Yes, sir. Get some pliers. Oh, I might not need them. A rag. Yeah, that one's nice. Full of grease. I might save these. Never know when you might need one. Okay, now what are we gonna do here? I gotta go back through. Let's see here. I got my socket stuck in there. That would have sucked. Beauteousness. How do I get this out of here? It's probably not going to work, but I'm going to try it anyways. Nope. Gotta try. Nope. Just like that. Clean up the 16 years of grease spooge. Look how beautiful that is. So nice. See, that's what happens. A paint mark, you're probably better off etching that with a engraver. You know, putting a little mark there. But that's why I marked the backside, because I knew that was going to happen. Yeah, it's hard to see, but there it is. Put a little arrow in there with the engraver. Now I can go wash this and not worry about washing off the paint. Nice. Boy, these things are stiff. Wowza. Yummy. There's a little black rubber thing on the end there. That's weird. I'm trying to figure out how I want to do this. Guess we'll do it this way. Nice and easy. Love it. I probably should have cleaned the crap out of the grooves. It's probably not the best time to be doing this with the thing exposed. Hindsight's always 20/20 in auto repair. Especially when the thing falls apart at 50, 60 miles an hour. Been there, done that. First U-joint job I ever did. It was a 94 K1500 that I had. Oh, actually this one had, instead of these clips, it had nylon, injected nylon from the factory, and I didn't know that. I'd been used to, every vehicle I had ever seen in my life had these clips. This one didn't, so I figured they were just held in by a press, like a really tight press fit is what I thought. Because I got my press on there, and I started hogging, and my Harbor Freight press went, opened up like that. I figured the screw was pointing this way. It was awful. So yeah, you're supposed to heat them up, melt the nylon, and then you can press them out. So that was a learning experience. And in the process of doing that, I bent the ears in, so it was all rusted. So I couldn't get the clips. The clips that come with the replacements go on the inside, because that's the only place I can put them. Since they were nylon injected from the factory, they weren't designed to have any clips. So I put them, I couldn't get one of them in. I got it halfway in, I pounded it in, and I was so mad. It was like 9 o'clock at night. I had to be at work at 5 a.m. the next day. I pounded the next one in. I said, ah, hell with this. And made it 3,500 miles before the drive shaft finally let go on me at 10 o'clock at night on the way home from work, of course. I took a trip up to Laconia, or not Laconia, but Epping, New Hampshire, watching drag races. So the thing had been around, and all of a sudden I noticed a slight vibration. Kept getting worse and worse and worse and worse. Finally, boom! There goes my exhaust. Drive shaft spinning and flailing around at, 50 miles an hour I think I was going. What a mess that made. So I was screwed. I had to throw it in four-wheel drive, pulled the drive shaft, threw it in the bed, and I left a trail of transmission fluid for about a mile till the fluid level dropped far enough to not be seen. Oh yeah, good old days, fun times. Then I had to get some all thread and bend the ears back, heat them up. And, man, it was a nightmare. I had to take a torch to my press for about a half an hour and take a 40-pound sledgehammer over my head, swinging about 15 times to get that thing back to where it was normal. And I still have it. I still use that one. I bought that at Harbor Freight in Phoenix back in 2000. There's another history lesson for you. Okay, let's see what we got here. We'll try the golden ones because they're so pretty. These are the thinnest of the bunch. Oh, and they're tight like a tiger. Holy crap. Twang! That's what's gonna happen in about 2 seconds. There you go. You see the problem? How are we supposed to do this? I didn't think that engineering through very well, did they? Either that or I'm not smart enough to figure this out. Always something, isn't it? Oh, you know what? This is probably the one we're supposed to be using here. If I was smart, I would have saw that. But aren't these different thicknesses? I don't know. I just don't know. Wow, so many of these. There's 4 of these. Well, 3 of those. That's weird. And there's 3. Okay, that makes sense. So this is... Probably should read the directions. First time I've ever seen a setup like this. At least it's not too hard to get them out of there. Live and learn. That's what happens. Easy squeezy. Watch your eyes. Beauteousness. Okay, put the little U-joint in. Oop. That's not how you do it, buddy. Not how it's done, son. This still doesn't really... Wow. That clip is still interfering with this thing. I'm not sure I'm a big fan of this setup anymore. You donkey. You see what I just did? I just put the hex end on there. Yeehaw. Yeehaw. You donkey. I'm gonna get a wrench. That's a big B. Let me tell you. Wowza. Come on now. Yeah, they could have trimmed the ends down a little on that. I like to get it tight. Maybe it doesn't get tight and the clip is supposed to hold it. But it's definitely not going to loosen up. I just don't want water getting in there. Okay, it's about that. Crap. Need a pick. These are pretty tight on their own. Look, I can't even turn these. That's the way they were when I got them out of the box. I'm happy with that because that feels about where they were. Okay, now then, I get my marks right here. Straighten that out. Get all this crap out of the way. There's the mark. There's my little arrow. Pointing the wrong direction, but I get the idea. Can I do this? No, I cannot. It's like it almost looks like a little plastic pad on the end there. Could very well be. Where's my mark? Oh yeah, see? Son of a bitch. Now you did it. Right in the friggin' dirt. And it's pretty much confirmed that these are indeed plastic washers that go on the inside. This is the grease I'll be injecting into this, so that's what I'm going to use to stick it back in. Opportunities for screwing this up are presenting themselves one after the other. Really should have those on the side. There's my other cap. Upside down, that's a good place for it. Did I really do that? Or did it fall? Wow. That was easy. I just slid in with my bare hands. That could be bad. Get a cover on this grease before I get sand in it. That will happen. Tap, tappity, tap, tap till the heart's content. Okay. Hear that sound change when you tap and it's time to stop. Good indicator. Yes, sir. You're not going to get the flop out of these U-joints just based on how they felt when I took them out of the box. I'll show you the other one. So in case you're curious, this is the 1310. That's a very common U-joint. They use that in everything way back in the day up till today, apparently. And look at this. Made in USA. What? What? What is this? What is this stuff that I do not understand? Okay, so there's that. There's some directions. Put those back in there. This thing, look. When you used to get U-joints back in the day, you just went like this. They'd fall right off. Look at that. They are not moving, I'm telling you, they are. These are some stiff. I can't even turn them. My hands are slipping with the grease. None of these are turning. I'm squeezing pretty good too. So they're going to be tight. That's good. You have a hole on one of them. I would imagine that has something to do with those plastic spaces maybe. Maybe that just makes them. And these seals look pretty robust. I've never really seen seals that good in the past. Or maybe it's just because they're an odd color and they stand out. But I'm pretty happy with Spicer. They've been around for eons, and they were the drivetrain masters way back in the day, so I like to stick with them if I can. This is a 1986 Mercury Grand Marquis, so Crown Victoria, Ford Crown Victoria, Lincoln Town Car, all be the same. Sounds like when you hook up AC voltage the wrong way. I almost had a little feathered visitor in here. But what I'm going to do after is, wow, I'm getting sidetracked. Look, squirrel. The trunnion is twice as thick as what is in here. That's amazing. It's really thick, heavy too. Let's Probably a lot heavier than the stock one. It's actually pretty similar in weight, and I got all the caps on this thing. I only got one on here. It's definitely thicker. I don't know if that necessarily means better. But these say USA right on them. 151 USA. These are good U-joints. We'll go ahead and knock these out. And I'm going to take some like 1,000 grit sandpaper and just kind of go over this. You know, like a reverse hone, like honing a cylinder. It's turned inside out, basically. I like to do that just to get rid of any nicks or burrs or anything. I always did that with motorcycle forks when I rebuilt them at MMI. So kind of anything that's bright and shiny, I like to do it to. Hey Louise, man. What the frig? Get past a certain time of the day and nothing works right. Whoa, watch out. Careful. It's a 17 millimeter impact socket, by the way. Craftsman, or craftsman as we like to say. Pretty greased too. Not bad, not bad. That one's nice and greased. That don't look bad either. I do know that one part of this was bad. It was wiggling. See some damage there. Oh yeah. I don't know if you guys can see that zebra stripe, but there's definitely marks there. I don't know what happened there. This could have been, oh yeah, all these are discolored. They got hot. And I think I know what happened. Back about 5 years ago, or maybe even more than that now. Geez, probably 10 years ago now. Geez, yeah, it's been a while. So about 10 years ago, I discovered AMSOIL off-road grease, the gray stuff. It's meant for yellow equipment. Real thick stuff. And I thought to myself, man, that would be perfect for universal joints. Well, it was a little too thick because the vehicle picked up an instant vibration. Like right after I greased them up full of that stuff, you could feel it. The whole driveline was vibrating. And I believe this is all damage from that. The grease was just too thick. It just wasn't moving. Probably didn't get to the right spots at the right time. You can see some of these are smooth, and then the other side, like right here, I can feel that with my fingernail. So it's a, you know, couple thousandths of an inch. You know, and this one's good. Of course, it's right next to the grease fitting. This one being the farthest away. Well, that one's actually not too bad either. This is the worst one right here. That's pretty close. That feels real rough. So, interesting. So it was time. That's the vibration I was feeling. I thought I had problems with my tire balancer, but that was not the case. Into the scrap they go. I'm gonna keep that grease fitting now because I'm cheap like that. Okay. Cleaned it up as best I could. Man, these things are tight. I see you. It's weird seeing a hole in the bottom. Back in the day, that meant you screwed up big time. Put a hole in the freaking cap. I've done that. That's how you learn. Learn what not to do. Not a good flying night. I'm better off doing these U-joints. That's a pretty substantial downdraft that just came in. That would have knocked me out of the sky, probably. Wouldn't have been very pleasant. How'd that happen? That's how I ventilated the cap. You have a needle that tips over, You start pressing, especially with a press. Boom! Right out the bottom. There's no air cooling needed in U-joints. You don't need a big hole. It's not conducive to long life. Long universal joint life, that is. Okay, see if I can find all the goodies. Feels awful light. That's good. It's the light. Look at that. Made in the USA. Can you believe it? I'm just gonna marvel at this. I wonder if I can cut that out and glue it to my lift just to make me feel better. Let's see if we learned anything from the last time. Spacer P4, it says. Beauteous. Okay. There's a piece of crap in there. What did we learn the last time? Put the U-joint grease fitting in first. That would be my guess. If I was to learn anything today, that would be it. Wow, how much easier was that? Okay, gonna work now. You have a fresh battery. That thing's been dead. I've been talking to myself for the last half hour. Fantastic. So what I've learned in the past is, being that I'm a cheap skate, I never wanted to give one of these a pump first to purge any crap out of there because I'm wasting grease. Grease is expensive, especially AMSOIL. But in a quest to save a buck, you end up pumping some dirt in there like I have. You know, a lot of that scarring in there could be from that. All the times I went to grease and I had some crap on the end of the gun. These things are pretty cool. These lock right on there. I forgot what they're called. I can't remember crap nowadays. If I remember, I'll look them up when I'm editing and put a little thing in the thing there. Let's see. One pump. That doesn't look like it's on there very good, does it? 2 pumps. There's 6. It's starting to get stiff. I don't see it coming out of anywhere. Sure sounded that way. Back in the day, we always went till it came out of the seals. I hear some people say that ruins them. I don't know, you know? You don't know what to believe anymore. I just do what works. There she is. So there's a little pinhole in that one. So that's 7 pumps there. Yeah, they all have little pinholes in them. Okay. So I got my grease coming out of all of them except for this one. I have the factory grease coming out of that one. So I'm gonna go for number 8. Okay, there she goes. Still don't see it. Just starting to come out of that side. There she goes. So those pinholes are there for a reason. What a mess. What the heck? I'm gonna go put this in the container that I use to wipe down brake hubs and wheels with. That GoPro is covered with grease. It's okay to leave a little bit in there. It's all gonna get flung out anyways. Now that the drive shaft's out, I can show you where all that grease goes. Ta-da! There's about 16 years worth. Well, ever since I've owned the vehicle, I had the stock grease fittings up until 16 years ago. So parts used to last. This is the exhaust I put on in 2005. It's nice when you don't drive them in the winter. This is all oil leaks from the engine. And there's the little rainbow of goodness. That's all the grease coming off the front U-joint. Isn't that funny? No point in cleaning it off. It's the best rust proofing you can get, you know. It's not hurting nothing. It's not touching the drive shaft. So. And if it does, it just gets knocked off. So that's that. That's an exhaust that's never seen road salt. My very early weld job. I was actually a better welder then than I am now. No, maybe not. That one's got some lumps. It's pretty bad. Oops. Goes the brake clean. This one's even worse. That must have been the one I started on, and I learned by the time I get to the front. But yeah, everything, this is all the same, 2005. So, anyways. Got some nice new sneakers. Advantage TA SUV, BF Goodrich. Pretty nice. Meaty. Be good in the rain. So I'm gonna grease this one, and we'll get this stuff here. Is John Deere cornhead grease. It's kind of got some spray paint on there, but yeah, it's been kicking around for a while. It's starting to separate a little bit, but whew, it's big bugs. What the hell is that? It's got too many legs for me. Okay. So like I was saying, I'm gonna mix this crap up. I'm gonna put a little bit in the splines of the yoke right there. And that just on the newer vehicles, you'll get a thud, especially GM trucks. And you come slowing down right before you get to a stop, you'll get a boom. It feels like someone rear-ended you, and it's because that binds up. This isn't really a problem on these vehicles. I've never been a problem in the day, but just as a preemptive strike, I'm just going to put a tiny little bit of this stuff in there after I mix it back up again. It's losing some of its oil. I've had this stuff for quite many years. It's thixotropic, they say. It acts like a gear oil when it's in motion and acts like a grease when it's at rest. So it's like the best of every world possible. Alrighty, that's it. And I sand it all the way down right to the base, because when you're going to push the drive shaft in order to get the rear flange onto the differential, the rear differential, if there's any rust there, you're going to have an oil leak when you're done. Been there, done that. Sand that rust down. I just wanted to show you a close-up. You probably couldn't see what I was talking about, but see those little, it's like little pinholes in the boots there where all the grease comes out. Pretty neat. So that tells me there's no harm in pumping it until you get a full amount of grease coming out of those holes there. So there's just a little tiny pinhole in each one. That'll flush out all the crap. Ta-da! And I did get all the marks back where they were supposed to go, as you can see, which is good. This is off a little bit because I missed a couple teeth, but we're close enough for government work, which isn't very close at all, but that don't matter. So that's it. Let's go for a rip potato chip. Yeah, it's a long day. It's me, see going. Sweet. I wrote down the power steering pump, but I did not write down universal joints. Come on, baby. I hate when I do that. I always do that. It's another one of my pet peeves. Pens that don't write. Cars that friggin' break all the time, and pens that don't write. 267, 970. Yeah, that's some miles. Get that all squared away. Forget to put the pen back. You get the manual facing the wrong direction, so it gets caught and everything. Too late for this crap. Okay, here we are. job. You usually know pretty quick if you got a bad, if you, well, let's put it this way, if you screwed up a U-joint job, you will know pretty quickly. Even when we bought this car 17 years ago with 68,000 miles on the clock, brakes work great. I love this car. Rides so nice. Off we go. Little exhaust leak. That's been leaking for 12 years and getting progressively worse. The way I figure, instead of fighting with rusty bolts, I'll just wait till the engine takes a crap. Might be another few years. So you guys can't see much. Thanks for watching. We'll see you on the next one.